mean, I love school, and I'm definitely grateful for what I learned. But in my job, I learned that just talking with these kids that is at-risk youth, they don't know a lot, and there's not a lot that's even enticing to them that makes them want to learn more. Mm-hmm. But when I start with with some things, you know what I mean, telling them about Black History, Fred Hampton, Robert Smalls, just people that they don't teach in school, they're like, who is that? And I give them the story, they mouths be wide open like, word, this happened? Fred Hampton, he was that young? Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's real quick though, because when you see gangsters, right, and even in movies, I'm talking about movies. Mm-hmm. You see Italian gangsters, Mexican gangsters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You may see a Bumpy Johnson every once in a while, but like for whatever reason, kids think that they invented like that lifestyle. So when they see somebody or they read about someone that looks like them doing it, that been did it, and they got wrapped up, and it's like, yo, we're not telling you this because it's like boring or you know what I mean. We trying to take you away from the streets. It's like, yo, there's nothing there. You know what I mean?
Like we know what's up the block and around the corner. You only can see right there. We know what's coming if you continue this shit.
Right.
But it's like literally, like you know what I mean, literally. I mean. We ain't touch on it, but yeah, that's literally
what it comes down to.
Yeah, like, bro, I can see what's around the corner, yo. If you keep going up the street, I can see what's around. Nah, I'm good. Nah, you're not
done
good.
it. Right, exactly. We already lived it. We already seen our peers or went through it ourselves.
This person went through it. I went through it. Because when you say I went through it, they're like, you ain't go through that.
Right.
But then when you show them that real black gangsters and all that, they're like, oh yeah, this ends up somebody snitching on you, or you in jail,
literally,
or you dead. Like,
it's just a memory. You know what I mean? Like people swearing to God on you and shit.
Right, and that's big. That's prevalent. That's prevalent out here. You hear people's. Like, I work with middle school. All they want to do is homie this and homie that, and on this person, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let them rest in peace, yo. Like, you gotta do something else that they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm quite sure they wouldn't want you to be doing this dumb shit either.
Right. If they could come back and
holler at you, they be like, yo,
it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it.
It's definitely ain't worth it, especially because they see what's around the corner.
Right.
So
then they did that.
That was a whole segment though.
But we ad-lib, but this is still episode 9, part 2, yo, because we got to talk to y'all about credit, man. We got to get y'all credit right, making sure y'all living good, purchasing the right things to build capital and creating assets and all that other good stuff along the line.
And real quick, for the illiterate, if you don't know what nueve means, that means 9. So I just want to give you a heads up, you know what I'm saying?
Depending on what culture y'all, but nonetheless, it's episode 9, So again, we got our man Aaron Gibson Jr.
Still here,
rocking with us, and was more than willing to drop y'all these gems about credit, man. Like, they didn't even have to ask him for real. He just said that this is what we doing. So without further ado, again, Aaron Gibson, this is episode 9, part 2 on credit.
Keep forgetting the junior, bro.
My bad.
Junior.
The junior is important.
Aaron Gibson Jr.
Because the big homie is what kind of set the path.
Set the tone for it.
It is.
My bad, bro.
It is because my dad is actually somebody too. So I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, when I say my name, people be like, oh, you're Aaron Gibson's son, like, to do this, to do that, to do that, you know? So I'm yeah, that's my dad. But I don't claim that, like, I don't go into nothing like, yeah, I'm Aaron Gibson's son.
All right. You got the junior, because if I said junior, you wouldn't have to explain yourself.
Right.
So,
like, I know Aaron Gibson.
That's on me, Aaron Gibson Jr., y'all. And it's going to be in the caption somewhere, and I'm going to have it written out correctly.
We got to have it nice and clean for you.
Exactly. So, yeah, man, just tell us a little bit about credit today, the benefits, telling people just why it's important. We're going to start off simple, you know what I mean? We're going to warm up, but just why credit is important, what you do to help people build their credit, and just take it from there.
Alright, we'll start off by saying credit is very important in many different aspects. So I've always told people about credit, even before I actually knew what credit really was, right?
Right.
You know, I've been building my credit since I was 18 years old. I was still in high school when I got my first credit card. And if you look at my wallet, I still have that same credit card, right?
Because you don't want to close that account.
Nope.
Right. Go ahead, my bad.
So 2007 is when I would have graduated from high school. I didn't graduate, but I do got my GED. I did go to art school. So I have that same credit card, and I paid that credit card off monthly for the last, 15 years. Maybe. Damn.
5.
Damn, that's like 13, 14 years.
Yes,
huh?
Yeah,
but
history.
that history.
That credit history is important.
That's 35% of your credit profile is your credit history.
All right, hold on now.
Well, we give out percentages and stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We gonna talk about the credit profile and all that, but yeah. So
the importance.
Cool.
All right. So the importance is, you know what I mean, like in this world today, how we operate in society is based off credit, right?
Right.
So in order to, get the best interest rate, purchase, a nice home, everything that you don't have to pay triple for, right?
Right.
So let's say a person with a 680 credit score versus a person with a 560 credit score.
Mm-hmm.
You might have this 680, I might got the 520. Your interest rate's going to be 30%. I mean, we're going to drop the numbers.
30%.
That's going to be my shit though.
You might as well smack somebody.
But yours might be 9. Mine's might be like 27.9. I'm going to end up paying at least $10,000 more in interest than what you would. So it's important that you understand financials and credit when it comes to that. Credit is very important when you wanna save money. You know what I mean? Exactly. Or use other people's money. The world was built off of using other people's money, technically. Right. And money doesn't necessarily mean currency.
Right.
That's a history education for us. But like they say it was built off of our backs, which you know what I mean, we pick cotton, we done all that. That's an energy exchange.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's an energy exchange. That's how the world was built. Mm-hmm. The United States at least. Well, I'll say the world. But
to some degree for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, there's the importance of it today though that we're talking about is, being able to, live a comfortable lifestyle. Long as you don't overindulge in, credit and everything like that, it can change your life. Freedom.
Right. So just real quick, financial institutions charge you X amount of dollars when you want to borrow money, right?
Right.
That's what he was referring to the interest rate.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be in a situation where you're paying as much or even more in interest rate than you act for whatever you actually needed to purchase.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's basically why that's really important.
Super important.
So, to break that down in layman's terms.
I've been doing this for a while. I used to break it down like that, but now it's like I taught so many people that like when I'm speaking to people, I feel like I feel like everybody should actually know what credit is now, because I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years to the public.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I feel like everyone knows what credit is. Besides the youth, though, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
that's what we trying to get to.
The youth, but I could break it down to them in layman's terms, but that's
So, you created a DIY book. From what I understand, it's online and it talks about how to build your credit. Just tell us why you decided to do it outside of the obvious, and just details. Just break it down for us.
So the purpose of my DIY kit, right? Because it's everything that I've learned throughout my journey, plus what I put into it, right?
Okay.
So the reason that I started it, I fixed and helped people, over 300 people with their credit score profiles, right? And as time went on, they essentially came back to me, right? Because they didn't understand credit. You know, I would get all these people score high, get them to 700, 720. They'll go get cars, buy furniture for their house, get credit cards, and then mess it up, right?
Right, because they don't know how to sustain it or maintain it.
Right. So I kind of felt like I was doing a disservice to my community. So I said, I gotta educate. You know, I gotta give y'all the game. Like, I can't keep charging y'all to fix it if y'all don't understand what I'm doing for you. So I put together
genuine.
Yeah,
it's genuine, dude. But go, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I put together the DIY kit. You know, like, listen here, take this. This is everything that I do for you, and you pretty much educate yourself and learn it. You got any questions? Reach out to me. I'm going to walk you to the water. I mean, you gotta drink it.
You gotta drink it. Yeah, you know, I'll help you with the foundation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'll get you where you need to be, but then after that, it's on you.
Right. So that's the reason I started the DIY program, because of that reason. I started Score Plus because I helped my mom, my grandma, I helped my family get their credit together, and then I realized that, like, this is needed everywhere because the community doesn't understand what credit is.
No, yeah.
Like,
they hear about it, but they don't really comprehend what exactly it is.
Right, like it's like they don't understand it. Like, so, you know, I started Score Plus. You know, we fixed over 300 people's credit. From them, I first home purchases. You know, like, I have all these receipts of people, like, thanking me, like, yo, I bought my first house, I done this, I bought my first car, got my first credit card, and, you know, that felt good. Like, that's what I done it for. But on the flip side was, I done it because I understand creating generational wealth, and
that's one of our key things on this show, generational wealth. So the fact that you even brought it up, but I was having to mention it, we on the right track, baby. We on the right track.
So I understand with generational wealth, like, majority of the people who created generational wealth outside of, I don't know how to put it without putting it the way I want to put it. So the created generational wealth is, they were able to use other people's money, you know, and that's all credit is. You know, if you got $10,000 off of a credit card and you use that $10,000 to create revenue versus buying a piece of furniture that we're going to sit on for 3 years and it's going
you know
what I mean? So that was my goal, right? Like, all right, I got y'all the credit, I got y'all credit right. Now we need to build a business. We need to invest in something. Everybody's not entrepreneurs. I get it. I know that. But, like, create something to, you know, bring you passive income. That was my goal. That's always been my goal throughout everything that I've ever, you know, started.
Get enough assets to maintain your daily lifestyle, you get more time to do other things, right? It's a trickle effect, you know, and like he said, not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur, but for the people who genuinely want to do it, man, he's your guy, yo. He's gonna definitely show you, utilize him, use his resources. Comes with a fee. But definitely because of the fee, I'm not even gonna hold you. You know what I mean? But it's well worth it, man. Sure. And we need to take advantage of this and not just sleep on this information right here.
No, you definitely can't sleep. You can't be sheep. But one thing I want to touch on, right? I know, you know, growing up, some parents put, you know, their kids' names on bills. You know, we was talking about Con Ed, right? Con Ed, for you guys that don't know, that's the equivalent. It's the New York version of your Duquesne Light.
Duquesne Light, yeah.
Right?
We don't got people's gas.
We don't got people's gas in New York. I mean, at least in the city, right? So we had Con Edison, and, you know, sometimes the parents put their kids' names on the Con Ed bill, or Time Warner bill. It's another New York gym, right? And sometimes that may affect
Spectrum now, but
the Spectrum now, right? They got bought out, right? You know what I'm saying? He came and watched the Yankee game, but nevertheless, like, how can that right there affect a kid's credit once they get into the realm of trying to get credit themselves? Does it affect it, or?
I mean, to some extent it does, and especially being as though you don't want to, snitch on your grades or your pops, right? But essentially, it doesn't, right? Because clearly you wasn't of age, so it wasn't you that put that bill in your name.
Right.
So
talking about 8 and I got a Time Warner.
Yeah, I'm not even old enough to fill out an application.
Right.
Like, so clearly y'all know it's fraud, right?
Right.
So, I mean, essentially you could get it off, you just gotta do a little bit more work.
Right.
So
but it is fixable.
It
is fixable, yes, it is fixable because the dates don't line up.
Once people start doing their research, hopefully.
Yeah, once they dive into it.
If on any application that you fill out, it always asks you, is the applicant of over the age of 18. 18 or older. You wasn't 18, automatically void.
Oh, perfect. So now you guys know.
But that don't mean go put the...
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
That don't mean go put stuff in your kids.
Yeah, we're not trying to send out the wrong message.
Right, we're not at all.
Yeah,
Please do not start putting your kid's name on, what is it? We got Xfinity, right? We got Verizon. Please don't start doing that now. No Duke can't light no people's gas. Please keep it in your name.
But another, the back into that, you can build your kids' credit before they turn 18.
So tell us about that, and that's something I thought about, right? Can't you put them as an authorized user?
Yes.
If you're making the right credit choices, though, right? Otherwise, you're gonna tear their shit down. Right. So
as an authorized user, to how I always refer to it is, right, like I went to Plum, which is a majority white school in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
So I always seen these kids with brand new cars and shit, like Beamers and and
in high school.
Yeah, and like their parents just made them authorized users. The car was theirs, they had jobs and stuff, but they were able to get that low interest rate, that low payment because they were authorized users on their parents' accounts. Their parents built their credit before they turned 18 or while they were 18. They gave them that payment history. Banks then didn't look at that. You know what I mean? Now it's a thing amongst our community. It's getting stricter. You know what I mean? Because once we found out something, they closed the loophole. They closed the loophole.
Same thing with bachelor degrees.
Yep. Yeah. They changed the loophole. They fill these loopholes, and but I mean, there's always gonna be a way around something. But
that's why
that's true. Like, you know what I mean? Like, building the kids' credit. 16, 17, 18, putting them on your credit card. Like when my daughter turned 16, when I put her on that credit card that I had since 07, she's going to get all that payment history. You know what I mean? So it's going to look like she had been building her credit since she wasn't even born.
And that's a gem, yo.
Yeah. But the banks ain't going, go back that far, but they're going to see that she has some type of history. And
so, getting into it, you just dropped the major gem about authorized users and setting your kids up, giving them that credit history. What's another major gem that you could just let the people know real quick that's gonna help them with their credit history or building credit, building cap, whatever the case may be? Like, just let them know one more. One more. One more. I just need one.
So I mean, it's a gem, but it's common sense when it comes to credit. Making sure that you pay everything on time, for one. That's make sure you keep up with your bills. It's not a super gem, but it's very important. And the gem is to actually have variety of things on your credit report, right? So don't just think that credit cards is going to build your credit profile. You got to have a mixture of accounts. So you got to have credit cards. You might want to have installment loans. You might want to have real estate loans. Like that's the gem, right? Because credit cards, for one, credit cards is the best one, to my opinion, because it shows the bank that you can have X amount of dollars and manage it.
Right. So
credit cards just basically show them that you can manage money, right? An installment loan for like your car payment, that just means that you're paying something that you need.
Right, exactly.
Like, I need this, so I gotta pay it. That's the same with your house, but real estate is different because the loans are much larger.
Way larger.
And this becomes an asset. You know what I mean? So when you have a real estate mortgage on your credit profile, it builds it up better because now you're showing that this is an asset that this person has equity in, and he's paying it on time or she's paying it on time.
Right, because just real quick, when I purchased this house, I'm thinking like, yo, my joint is going to dip. You know what I mean? And it actually went up. Yeah. And, I didn't process it correctly at that time because I'm only thinking about the debt part to it. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a hole, X amount of dollars. That don't look good, but that's not how they see it.
Not with real estate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it becomes an asset.
Right.
You know, like you have equity into this, so you're not gonna want to lose that equity. So you're gonna pay it.
Right. You're gonna pay that every month on the first.
Start at $1 million for sure.
Right. So that's pretty much it. You know, a mixed credit profile. Make sure that you have a mixture of credit things on your credit profile. You know, like credit cards being number one for sure because that's money management. All banks want to see that you can manage money. So if you have a $100,000 credit card and your utilization only went to 35,000 at one point, you never went to 100,000. Then you know what I mean, they're going to show that they're going to see that you have money management skills. They're going to say, oh, he has $100,000 right here, but he's not even using it. Right. But what he is using, he is paying. You know what I mean? He didn't max it out. Let's give him more. Exactly.
Yeah, that's how they hit you because they think you ain't going to pay it if you mess it up.
Right.
So, yeah, but real quick, you did drop that gem, but earlier you also mentioned profile history. Can you just briefly talk about like why that's also important? Because authorized users. Just real quick, why the history is the significant part in that as well.
The history is the majority of your credit profile because they want to see that you can maintain money or whatever, money essentially. Like they want to see, like you're not going to give somebody $10,000 that doesn't have a great payment history with you, like your Uncle Day, your Uncle Day, you know that he been borrowing money off your grandma for 20 years,
right,
and he talking about he gonna pay her back.
Nephew, something coming in next week,
right? But you gonna give him that bread?
Nah,
exactly, because you got his payment history ain't good. But if your aunt, who you know what I mean, like she come and ask your grandma for some money here and there, but she always pay it back, you gonna be more inclined to give her what she need because she got money.
Get what she want. For real. Grandma gonna get what she want.
Right.
I don't know about y'all, but my grandfather, he can't hold it down. Like
no, I'm saying your aunt, not your grandma. I'm saying your aunt asked your grandma for the bread.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Grandma always get everything.
Like here you go. Love is love, though, to all the family.
But one thing I don't do is I don't buy my grandma cigarettes.
Yeah, you can't support a bad habit.
You said I can't support that.
I don't. She be like, I need some cigarettes. I be like, Grandma, you know I ain't getting no cigarettes. Like
cigarettes and Pepsi. God bless my grandma. Right. That's whatever's up with that combination with the cigarettes and the Pepsi.
Bro, it's the thing with the nicotine, with the refreshing
Ice Leverage.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. They like the sound of that.
I don't know, man. I think every black person, if they smoke Newports, they wash it down with a Pepsi.
My grandma drinks Salem Slims.
That's the first I've ever heard of that.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Old timers got their preferences.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
Like,
but
so.
I don't support the cigarette thing, but everything else.
Yeah, they can have it.
Support the cigarettes. I feel you.
I dig it.
All right. So, what is the top 5 credit mistakes that people make? You see.
Top 5.
No order.
Just all right. One, of course, not paying their bills on time. Like, that's important. It's history.
Pay your bills, y'all.
It's
not even funny no more.
Yeah, pay your
Stop
bills.
joking.
Another one is applying for too much at one time. Like, you know what I mean? Not understanding financial literacy. Like, that should have been number 1. But not understanding financial literacy, like that's a big mistake. Just because you got approved for a car doesn't mean you should take that car.
Right, 100%.
And cars is the biggest downfall of our community, right?
Yeah, flashy.
Everybody gotta be flashy.
So somebody could walk in a dealership and they, of course, they're going to approve them. It's a car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, you got approved for a 2015 Mercedes-Benz, but your interest rate is 17%, right?
Shut out.
You're about to spend at least 13 grand over Aston at the end of the day. That's not including tax and all that other stuff that you got to deal with.
Right.
When you don't know who you are, right? So that's another mistake. Interest rate, like understanding interest.
Absolutely.
Like when I was 18, I bought my first finance truck. It was a Grand Jeep Cherokee 2004. This was 2007 when we graduated. I still got that truck too. But it's not like a truck that I drive every day. I still got it in storage. Like I can't let it go. It got so much sentimental value.
100%. That's the starting point.
But I was looking at the contract probably like 3 years ago. 23%. I paid 12 grand
over
extra.
The asking price.
Yes. The truck when I got it at the time was 18. That was what the sales price was.
So you pay what, 30?
Like, yes, like 32.
Oof.
And I ain't pay it off until 2014. No, not 14. 2010.
Wow.
I paid it off the year my daughter was born. Yep, not the year, but the following year.
Right.
Yep.
That's crazy.
2010 I paid it off from 2007 to 2010. Payment was like $350. Never missed a payment though.
Right.
Never missed a payment. Payment history.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like don't get a. Now we're not telling you what cars to get, what cars to buy, but we're telling you be financially responsible.
Yes.
You know what I mean, and what you purchase, and understand how financial institutes get you. Paying all these dollars for years and years after you done paid off the $18,000 car or whatever the case is.
That interest is a
don't live beyond your means just to sport. You know what I mean? He still has the truck.
He still
has it. You know what I mean? Like, and then if he wanted to, you probably rent it out or something like that.
It's still good.
It's still rent it out, but it's an asset now that you can.
It ain't an asset.
Well, not an asset, but you can use it to make some type of.
If you really wanted to, you could definitely
I can make some money off of it.
And my thing is though, like, don't live beyond your means and just not, don't get something that you can't afford just to look flashy. Like it's not worth it in the long run. Shoot, you see some of the top paying CEOs of some companies with a hoopty. You know what I mean?
But they say Warren Buffett still drive like a 2006 Caddy.
Right.
That just been paid off.
Easy, right?
Probably bought the cash for real.
Right.
Yeah, knowing him, he probably
definitely bought the cash.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's a whole nother.
But I will say this, because we ain't touch on this. If you operate a business, all them things could come tax deductible. You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother episode.
We need another episode
right now.
We need another episode.
I was about to ask a question, but I was like, that's a whole nother episode.
We're not even gonna do it yet. I gotta have to first. They're gonna have to support. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Support Ship. Support his credit business. Sorry, Score Plus.
Yeah, and I Ship and Pack.
I Ship and Pack. You don't have to support all that, but we gotta bring you back, bro.
We
gotta bring you back. Like, all jokes aside, like you.
I mean,
you open up another floodgate. You know what I mean? We're about to ask you 3 more questions. We told you we only had 2.
Hey, we flowing. I like this podcast interview. Like, this is something. It's flowing. You know?
Yeah, that's dope. You know what I mean?
It's flowing.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming through, showing love, and just sharing as much gems as you can.
Yeah.
Pick your brain, and we all just having a good old time right here. So,
yes, sir.
Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah.
Well, outside of the ship business, but like your handles, social media, and all that other good stuff.
So I'm heavy on IG story, which is Aaron G0210. That's my IG.
We're gonna put it at the bottom.
We definitely put it at the bottom.
We got you. Don't worry.
And Facebook, which is Aaron Gibson Jr. for Aaron Gibson Jr.
Alright.
I got so many of them, but that's my main one. Aaron Gibson Jr. is my main page on Facebook. I Ship and Pack on Facebook. I Ship and Pack on Twitter. I Ship and Pack on
everything.
IG.
I Ship and Pack on everything.
Yeah.
Google him.
Yeah.
Just put
Put him in a Google.
I'm sorry.
Aaron Gibson Jr. All right. Google him. Trust me, his profile pops up like no gas.
No, I really do.
Not even like trying to flex on you.
I'm on the first page.
Yeah.
I Ship and Pack is definitely the first page. For
You
sure.
don't even know.
I Ship and Pack is definitely on the first page.
Yeah, bro.
That's how I knew you was I think you local businesses come and might sell things at your shops every now and then.
Yeah. He's on there, y'all.
Yeah, we do support local small businesses. Every month we have a new business entity that we put on display that all proceeds go to them.
Nice.
Like just to show support to the community.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so we do a lot.
Man.
We do a lot.
Talk about an icon right here in the flesh, like building up the community, getting them right, getting them where they need to be. We couldn't have asked for a better episode.
No, we couldn't have.
Like this is the
dope.
essence of what we're trying to bring y'all. So yeah, man, Aaron Gibson Jr. I'm just call you Aaron, but I need to know. Don't forget the Junior. We appreciate you, bro, for pulling up on us and just letting the fans and the audience know like how to get right where they need to be and getting us straight, bro.
There's more ways to make it than one.
Right.
I appreciate y'all, extending for me to, come and sit down with y'all. This is my first time meeting y'all, and y'all energy is amazing. Y'all both great dudes. We talked off camera, and like this is very much needed for the youth and the community. Period. Y'all doing a great job.
Appreciate you,
man. Look, from the heart. That's all real.
Thank you.
None of that scripted. So again, episode 9.
The weather.
Aaron Gibson Jr. Culture content, and wrap it up.
That's a wrap. Make sure you check out part 1 and 2 because they both got gems. Holla at your boy.
And we dropping them on the same day, so just go to the YouTube channel and just check it out, man. That's a wrap.
Appreciate y'all.